Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Shweta. Hello, Kitki. Nice to see you all. We have just all the members joining, and I'll just open the wait room so that we can just flow in. It's so nice to see you all on this Saturday morning. We have some new names. I guess seeing Shweta for the first time in our sessions. Niyati, nice to have you all. Hi, Kitki. Hi, Shraddha, Ranjika. Uh, Nandan sir, we'll start in about 5 minutes max.
Sure.
Just wait for some moment because we have good number of registrations. So एक बार wait कर लेते हैं थोड़ा सा.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So meanwhile, just give us a pulse of where all of you all are joining from. So if you all can, please drop a message in the chat box, the name of your city. So we'll get an idea who we are having today. We are based out of Mumbai, TST community. We'll introduce TST community in a bit as we start the session. And of course, Nandan sir as well.
मैं पूना से हूँ.
Pune, yes. Thank you so much. Niyati is coming from Bangalore. Guys, it's okay to cut some slack on weekends. We all are entrepreneurs. We all are hustling. Shweta from Bangalore. Nice to have you, Shweta. All right, we have Richa coming in. We have Sanjana coming in.
Hello, Nandan sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, Sanjana. Thank you for putting this up.
Glad to do this for the community. I'm so glad to see some new faces and would love if they can come on video, but we're not forced. What we can do is we can drop our company name and or the brand website and your name and where are you from. And that would definitely help us to discover each other's brands.
Just a couple of more minutes and then I think we are good to start the session.
Yeah. Good morning.
Hello, Rashmi ji. Nice to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to know you, Sanjana. And I know Sanjana is from Surat, but Surat and Mumbai, we can say. Shweta, Niyati, you all can put up your brand names in the chat box. Richa, Ketki, Shubha, and Priyanka. Rashmi ji also.
Requesting all of you all to, if possible, put on the cameras for some time so that Nandan sir also gets an idea of the faces behind the names. And it's always great to see all the entrepreneurs in one space when we are doing such sessions. So as and when you are comfortable, do put on the camera. All right.
मुझे आदत हो गई अमृत to talk to blank faces now. So that's how it has worked now. From COVID से तो आदत हो चुकी है. उससे पहले तो नहीं थी. But that's how it works now.
Yeah, of course. It's great to see. Thank you, Shweta, so much. Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you, Rashmi ji. Awesome. So, all right. So let's start today's session without much ado. Firstly, thank you, Saranjika, for putting this together. She connected with Mr. Nandan sir And I think
Chasing me
sir
from
has
my
been
last year or
around.
so.
Sorry?
I said she's been chasing me from last year or so now.
Yes, yes. That's what that's what I love about her, the perseverance behind uh, ensuring that these sessions happen is something, that even I'm learning from her. So yeah, thank you so much.
Actually, nobody knows that Nandan sir is in the community. So he has been silently observing the community
I know.
activities and everything. So I thought
No, I actually
I know.
spoke one-to-one because what's happening, I'm a solopreneur, so there's no co-founder with me. So most of the times it's actually tedious to go through all the messages. So I am in, I think, close to 20 groups. Uh, Shark Tank 1, Shark Tank 2, then a lot of those incubation cohorts which are there. I am
Yeah.
Bangalore, I am Nagpur, then Irma, and a lot of them. So it becomes almost impossible to go through each and every message throughout the day.
Yeah.
And otherwise मेरा पूरा time WhatsApp पे रहने वाला है. So I simply रात को अगर time मिला तो मैं करता हूँ. Otherwise most of the messages are unread. Most of them, believe me. That's how it works with me.
Hey, thank you so much for being with us and accepting this in the first go only. So I didn't face any problem.
But sir, you have been, I'll just take this liberty, little
Yeah.
notorious liberty that you have been around for some time and you have been seeing what we have been doing.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on this?
So I think building a community after COVID is a little difficult because everybody is doing it now, to be frank. And to keep it relevant with जैसे TSD पे आता है तो बहुत बार मैं चेक करता हूँ, there are a lot of polls and there are a lot of information which you guys put on. So it's keeping that group relevant. Otherwise, believe me, मैं बाकी groups को check भी नहीं करता. Because it's that it starts with good morning and it ends with good evening kind of message. So it becomes almost impossible कि क्यों भेज रहे हो मतलब. So let's stop that. So but at least in this group, and some of the groups have been forced to keep it only admins can post because it's that bad now into that community. So at least this community has that kind of sense that we're not supposed to post any shit into this. So at least keeping that message relevant. So अगर मेरे को time भी मिलता तो I go through the message. I might not be able to reply or revert to each and every message, but at least I know what's happening there. So keeping it very candid and keeping informal, that's actually what I'm doing at this. Otherwise, बहुत impossible है हर किसी के लिए. I can vouch for all of them who are there and who are running their businesses. They might be in 20-25 groups more, जिसमें बहुत ही कम groups है जो relevant है अभी भी. Otherwise, most of them, even आपके WhatsApp में भी check करो, आपको भी वही हाल होगा.
Yes.
To be frank, मतलब without keeping any filters, but that's how it is now. There's too much of information everywhere. So you need to think what kind of information is to be consumed and what is not to be. At least for me, because otherwise वो बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब brain space लेता है.
Correct.
And if you are deciding, so it's far. If you are in decision making, so it's far better that क्योंकि कुछ information आती है तो you consume, you still have to decide whether information is good for you or bad. Even that's a decision at the end of the day. So it's far better that you tend to focus on things which are important to you, and decisions are then taken on basis of that. Sorry about completely on the different topic. It's not supposed to be in the format, but that's how it is.
I purposely said that I'm taking this liberty to just आपके साथ बात करने का मौका मिल रहा है for us. Itself is a big thing. And coming from you that yes, we are building a meaningful space is what has been our pursuit right from the beginning. So without much ado, let's start the session today. Firstly, Nandan sir, thank you so much for doing this for the community. It's a pleasure hosting you today. A quick introduction, but sir, we would like to know from you. Mr. Nandan Bhatt, founder and director of Ecokaari, humanizing fashion, is into upcycling single-use waste plastic bags and MLPs using charkha and handloom. Focuses largely on enabling livelihood for women and youth. They are into CSR, corporate gifting, and sustainability at large. A very warm welcome on behalf of the entire community, sir. I have some interesting questions coming towards you around Ecokaari and how your journey has been, sir. So, sir, let's start. Any opening statements about what you do and how your experience has been?
Yeah. So before that, I actually asked everybody if we can keep it informal. So मैंने कुछ तैयारी नहीं की session के लिए. To be frank, so this will be more what we do. And to be frank, on other side, मेरे को questions 5 मिनट पहले मिले हुए. So there has been no preparations from my side. So it will be completely informal. So अगर आपके questions in between भी है, you can ask me, but ask Amrit because he is the person to handle it. So I'll be okay with that. Now coming to the Ecokaari part. So as Ecokaari we started in 2020, but its पहले journey started in 2015 में. So it was with different organization altogether. So we were two co-founders at that time. So during the COVID, we had some of the differences. So we closed that organization and took the different paths. So I started Ecokaari again in mid of second wave. So जितनी भी savings थी वापस चली गई. And Ecokaari का word अगर आप देखोगे, so there's a combination of two words, eco and kari. So eco was taken from the word eco-friendly and kari from the karigar. So these are the two basic missions of the organization which we are trying to work here. So the first part of the mission is that we are trying to conserve the environment by upcycling the difficult to recycle plastic, which is multi-layer packaging, polythene bags, and gift wrappers. So unko और कोई recycle नहीं करता, it cannot be recycled in the traditional way. So that's why we wanted to focus there. And the second part of the mission is that we are trying to enable the livelihoods for women and youth who are coming from the humble backgrounds. Now, why that part of the mission was little more important to me, because my personal journey is that I'm a Kashmiri born guy. So born in Kashmir during 80s. And in 90s, we moved out due to क्योंकि Kashmir में बहुत सारा turbulence था. So I come from the Hindu family. So Hindus were forced to move out from the Kashmir because of the different issues which you might know. So then we were from the business family. So हमारा सेब का business था. We were from the Apple. हमारे Apple के बहुत सारे orchids थे. So we take, because obviously it's an agriculture. So we landed up in Jammu ke migrant camps, man. So we were living in the tents for a good 7 years. So till I moved to Mumbai for my education. So I did my B production from Father Egmal Bandra, and then shifted to Pune simply because Mumbai was getting little costly for me to survive as a city. So Pune is still cheaper. The environment is little moderate. Mumbai is little humid throughout the year, and I could feel that the parents might feel it better than Jammu, because Jammu is extreme cold and extreme heat. So as a temperature, so that's the journey how it had started. And 220 we started Ecokaari. So we were little slow to start with. So I was sure कि मैं 2-3 लोगों को अगर train करूँगा, I'll be able to take care of them for a year or so till that idea matured. But God was little great, and मतलब बहुत सारा appreciation मिला throughout the COVID के time में. And there are some of the earlier clients like Tata Sustainability had, so they approached us. They have actually kept us alive in that. So technically it was a relation which we had built in the earlier zone pay, and that's how the journey has been. Ecokaari के हिसाब से till now.
Right. Right. As a community, sir, we focus largely on growth for our for entrepreneurs at large, focusing on tapping into the eco-conscious consumer market and building a loyal consumer base.
जी.
Ecokaari has achieved a mark. So, how has been the targeting approach of Ecokaari?
So to start with, we were sure that we wanted to focus on some of the cities where the target customers are. For example, if you take it city-wise also, for example, Mumbai, we are sure that we will only target the South Mumbai, or to some extent till Andheri. I'm giving you exact geographical situation, because the moment you go to the suburbs, the awareness as well as the disposable income is a little is questionable technically. So, but for us, we wanted to start with a उससे भी पहले actually we had actually to start with, we described कि हमारा ideal customer कौन होगा, which is very important if you want to technically take that marketing का पूरा step. So for example, when we started, we were sure that the customer who we want to target will be living into 8 cities. We simply said 8 cities. That was Bombay, Pune, Delhi, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, I think Visakhapatnam and Kolkata to start with. Kolkata में थोड़ा सा आ रहा था, but then we started with that also because being in a metro and all that. So once that was started, कि इसमें the person who is living there has an income of more than 50,000, is eco-conscious, is conscious about at least with what's happening across the environment and all that, and has a disposable on 15 and is in the age group of 25 to 50. So you're very specific with कि क्या डेमो में रह रहा है, क्या एज ब्रैकेट में है, क्या उसकी इनकम होगी. So then it becomes an easy target for you. And होता क्या है कि the more you spread the awareness or even the marketing reach, आपका खर्चा बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है. And then the cost acquisition CAC जिसको हम बोलते हैं, it goes higher. So we were sure कि इतने में करेंगे पहले. So let's see how we go. And eventually it actually went in that right zone पे. And on top of it, I was just going through किसी podcast में अभी I think the barber shop करके एक podcast आता है शांतनु का. So I think Tanmay was actually and it actually opened a different vision कि हाँ हम ये कर रहे थे but we were not focusing there, but we were doing it over the period of time. So हम traditional business में we never thought that Instagram is a distribution channel for you. So but in modern sales, Instagram or even the social media for that say is a distribution channel for you, because it does you reach to the target customers at much lower cost than what you might go in the traditional pay. And that's what we were actually doing over the period of time. तो हमने पहले शायद Instagram और Facebook पे ध्यान दिया. Over the period of time when we shifted our strategies from B2C to B2B, then we started LinkedIn also. So LinkedIn पे भी उतना ज्यादा नहीं है हमारा पास reach. We might have something close to 15,000 followers, which is still good because these are the actual followers, believe me. So I think 50 to 60% of them are at the decision making level पे CEO and CFOs and कुछ founders हैं. And rest of them are from the technology and all that who are following us. And from the environment, maybe you and और वो सारे लोग हैं following me. So that gives us a good amount of reach. As we were actually discussing earlier also when we were thinking about this, so every brand has their own journey, believe me. So if you want to relate, a brand can be related to a person. For example, Ecokaari is actually the outcome of the core group. हम 4-5 लोग हैं core group में आते हैं हमारी टीम में. तो हम 5 लोगों का जो thinking है, so that you can see the reflection on our social media. So it's the extension, technically, the brand is the extension of that core group, what's happening here. So that's what actually, focusing on every person or the branding के लिए, every company might have a different journey. So for that, you might have to actually start thinking about what's the customer journey. You might have to map that also. थोड़ा difficult process है वो, because you might have to dig into the data. I am actually a data person because I worked with the companies. I was fortunate enough that I worked with the companies who were too pro for the data. Technically, my boss used to say, the earlier boss, we bring, I don't remember the exact what he used to say. It was something like that, we believe in God, but others bring data. Something like that. कि हाँ हमको भगवान पे विश्वास है पर तू डेटा की बात कर. So that's what we were saying at that time. So that's what we think that कि data को dig करो, आपको पुराना data will give you more insights कि कौन सा customer कहाँ से आया हुआ है. Go to the website, if you see that the majority of the sales is happening from the Instagram or the Facebook, so that's where your energy should be there technically, rather than spreading it across. हमने दूसरा एक channel भी explore किया हुआ, which is that we do a lot of trade shows. So where we get exact information as exact feedback from the customers on our faces, and we keep it हम document करते हैं उसको कि customer क्या बोल रहा है. For example, we have got a lot of कि इसमें colors में ऐसे क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो आप, this can also होता है, but that's how it works. So every customer or every company has their own journey, which we have discussed also.
Yeah, these are actually the touch points, which gives an opportunity for entrepreneurs to collect a lot of data, primary first-hand data. And while our research that we were conducting on the entrepreneurial challenges of the ecosystem and why do startups in India, shut down, which is a huge number. One of the reasons is that entrepreneurs often start with only the hunch or the belief or the personal experience. While that is very important, as you said, the data is important, and I think it all makes sense that your tenure in the corporate and then your journey into entrepreneurship meaningfully it brings together both the perspectives of meaning and data that helps you drive Ecokaari. Awesome. Going to the next bit, how did you communicate Ecokaari's sustainability message effectively to your target audience that we discussed about, where we looked at describing the customer, the understanding the region that we need to first target, and then communicating them the sustainability message effectively in a domain, especially that is led by design and aesthetics.
जी. So when we started, we were very much sure that it's not only the product which will be green, it will be even the process of arriving the product will be green also. So let me explain that what I'm actually trying to say. So for example, कोई भी आप product देख लीजिए, they might say that it's completely green, but उसके पीछे जब उसको बनाते हैं लोग, so the process involves a lot of usage of maybe fossil fuels, a lot of chemicals, बहुत सारी चीजें. For example, even take the cotton. तो cotton का सबसे ज्यादा usage water का है. So it's one of the intensive है उसमें. So we were very sure that कि हम process को बहुत green रखेंगे. So on the other point was that how will we communicated that to the customer. So 5-6 महीने तक, to be frank, it was a decision कि that should we open the complete process how we are doing it to the whole base, because we were getting a lot of calls from across India कि हमको भी सीखना, हमको भी करना, that we want to replicate this. So now this was a huge risk, to be frank. And then I was lucky enough that I got a mentor from IIM Bangalore. I will name him. So his name is Mr. Chandas. He's ex-ITC CEO. So it helped me a lot. So apart from that, I think April 22 में मेरे साथ थे वो. He's still mentoring me, and he hasn't charged a penny because we got in a good relation. So every month we have a review with him. So he corrects the course correction उनके साथ में होता है. So that's when we decided कि देख competition तो आएगा ही आएगा. The moment product is little bit successful across India, so the competition आएगा. So we were ready for that, and we started showing the process कि हम कैसे बनाते हैं. And the moment we started showing the process, Instagram का following actually explode हो गया. Believe me, it exploded. And आपको जितना भी Instagram का following दिखता है, I think hardly हमने 2 या 3 बार promotions किए होंगे for that. So 90% of it is still organic. Believe me, मतलब अगर हमारा 230K तक following है something like that, so 90% of it is organic. We haven't paid for it. It's simply because we showed them what we do, so the people could relate to it. There's one more thing. लोग ना brand के साथ relate कैसे करते हैं? तो पहला तो brand एक aspirations होते हैं, जैसे iPhones होंगे, या हम bags की बात करें तो LV, Coach, Gucci and all that, वो सारे bags aspirational bags हैं. तो दूसरे वाले bags में जहाँ पर हम fit करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं is that they would like to एक तो वो हेल्प करना चाहते हैं because you could see a person who is help, मतलब who is making that bag. And तो मुझे ये बाद में क्लिक हुआ एज अ टीम हमको कि लोग इकोकारी से ज्यादा रिलेट वो लोगों से रिलेट कर रहे हैं. तो इफ यू सी अ पर्सन हु इज वीविंग इट, हु इज वर्किंग ऑन द चरखा, एंड उसको वॉश किया जा रहा है सब कुछ, मतलब दे कुड सी दैट पीपल वर्किंग ऑन टू इट, सो इट रेजोनेटेड विद मोस्ट ऑफ देम कि हाँ ये बैग एक्चुअली ऐसे ही बनता है. सो इट वाजंट दैट व्हाट वी आर शोइंग पहले कि नहीं हमने ये किया हुआ है. सो इट वाज एक्चुअली बैकिंग द क्लेम्स विद द डेटा कि ऐसे ही बनता है तुम्हारा बैग. सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज. And second, because I was talking about my mentor, so the first thing which we was that we were actually heavily into D2C उस टाइम पे कि हमको ब्रांड बिल्ड करना है, हमको हमारी वेबसाइट के थ्रू ही बहुत सारा सामान बेचना है. So we were actually burning a lot of money at that time क्योंकि cost acquisition is quite high. Now there's a peculiar problem with Ecokaari products पे, since we deal with waste. So for example, एक भी हमने लैपटॉप स्लीव बनाया, the color reputation is almost zero with me since I deal with waste, so I have no control over the kind of the raw material which comes to me. So which means every fabric color is different. For example, अगर black and white भी आता है, the shades of white and shades of black are also different because that's how the pigmentation is done by the producer of the plastic. I don't dye them again. We simply segregate them color wise. पर उस color wise में भी segregation में the shades keep changing. तो उस वाले केस में हमारे साथ हो क्या रहा है कि उसको डेवलप करने में बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लग रहा था, एंड इवेंचुअली ओनली द पर्सन हु वाज मेकिंग मनी इन द होल प्रोसेस वाज द फोटोग्राफर, क्योंकि हमको हर एक प्रोडक्ट को फोटोग्राफ करना था। मतलब इफ आई वांट टू कीप अ प्रोडक्ट ऑन वेबसाइट आई हैव टू फोटोग्राफ इट, क्योंकि अ
Right.
कस्टमर हु इज बाइंग अ प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम अस, आप कितना भी स्टोरी बोलो, दे पीपल हैव कलर चॉइसेस। फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे को ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट अच्छा लगता है, बट आपको ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट अच्छा नहीं लगेगा। एंड इंडिया में कलर के साथ में बहुत सारे धारणाएं भी है दैट ब्लैक इज नॉट शुभ एंड ऑल दैट। फॉर एग्जांपल वी डिड अ huge order for one of the shadis, so we were doing एक डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग थी गोवा में, so one of the big designers who approached us, उसने बैग डिजाइन किया, बट द ओनली सिंपल जो उसका एक ही था, मतलब मेरे किसी भी बैग में ब्लैक नहीं आएगा, मतलब देयर विल बी नो ब्लैक कलर। सो इट वाज एन ह्यूज टास्क फॉर अस कि हमको ब्लैक एलिमिनेट करना पड़ रहा था, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द, इफ यू हैव सीन बैग्स विद द प्रिंटिंग इज इन ब्लैंक। मतलब मेजोरिटी ऑफ द बैग्स विच आर प्रिंटेड, मे बी सारी बैग्स या फिर जितने भी आते हैं, दे प्रिंटेड विद ब्लैक, या फिर ई कॉम पैकेज दे आर विद ब्लैक। सो वो हमारे लिए थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था। देन along with the mentor, what happened actually that we shifted that key, let's shift to B2B, so it might give us little bit of zone पे बड़ा हो सकता है। So the moment we started approaching, obviously time laga, because you have to convince people that this product can be better than your cheap Chinese products जो आप 100-200 रुपए में लेते हो। So we had to match the quality and the quality and the pricing, so it was a difficult। तो उस वाले zone पे the moment we cracked, and we started getting good amount of offers from the corporates, because they could sense that कि किसी का भला हो सकता है, and the product is actually well received by the team also। So that was the point when we had shifted। So long answer for the short answer, but I thought that I will give you the journey how it actually had matured for Ecokaari for us। So एक वही problem है कि that in B2C we still struggle with it। You might go on the website and see बहुत सारे times पे that this product is out of the stock। It doesn't mean that कि हमारे पास stock नहीं है, it means that कि photographer ने अब तक photography हमको दी नहीं है। So that's the
Right.
baseline for us। Yeah।
I think what has been highlighted over here as a challenge is the nature of the business, the nature of the products, that they are unique in nature. Whatever products are spun off out of your process, they are unique and they have their own identity. And having a stock for a single design is indeed a challenging, and that's where the point of pivot comes, where
Yes।
you have nicely highlighted that how looking at B2B made more sense, and how the kind of value for the brand or for the product was found in the at an organizational level कि अगर
Yes।
हम कुछ कर रहे हैं तो वो भला होगा तो वो better है, and a mindset which is completely different from a B2C customer perspective, which it's sort of more of a educated guess we are making and trying out various channels for marketing.
Exactly।
Right. So, sir, bringing back the focus on
Hmm।
while communicating values is what has to be done, and you answered that how was your approach at Ecokaari. But again, bringing things back to how people shop or how people stay loyal to you, the aesthetics. So, what strategies did you employ to ensure that Ecokaari's products resonated with both eco-friendly values, one, but majorly the aesthetic preferences? What is the kind of design value system or the design system that you put behind designing the products?
About the designing, to give you the baseline, so ये हमको पहले दिन से actually पता था when we initially started that you can sell the product once on the basis of the story कि हम ये कर रहे हैं, हम वो कर रहे हैं। So the guilt factor, you want to do something good, you might play on to that and get the first sales। But if you want to get the repeated sales, the quality and aesthetics has to be there, otherwise नहीं आएगा दूसरी बार customer। For example, we get a lot of A-listers from the Bollywood जो हमसे personally products लेके जाते हैं, and believe me, it's a repeated sales for them। मतलब I'll not name of them because it's not open and they don't want to do it, but repeated sales होती है simply because they love the designing, or sometimes they might ask us कि मेरे को ये वाले colors चाहिए, so can you give me the complete bling sets, can you give me completely off bling because मेरे को किसी मेल्स को gift करना है। So the short answer is that हमारे at least for the Ecokaari, what's happening here is that we from the day one have started believing that product designing is utmost important to us and keeping the story intact. So the one part of it is that if I'm doing it the B2B, I sell the concept, I don't sell the products. So that's the B2B. So it's a different ball game for me because if it's in a B2B, I have to drill down the story part of it and how will it help the organization to mitigate at least the plastics. For example, we have a tie-up with ITC. ITC के बहुत सारे food brands है. So one of them is Yippee Noodles, if you know. So Yippee Noodles का जो marketing team है, so we have a collaboration with them. They send us their pre-consumer waste. Which means कि factory में कुछ mismatch हो गया, since it's in a food item, so if they mismatch the expiry or manufacturing dates, they have to throw that rule. क्योंकि you cannot send the product without the expiries and all those dates. So it's 1% which is universally accepted. So जितना भी production है उसका 1% is waste at the factory levels, so which is huge for a factory. So they send us from Pune का नजदीक में एक factory है उनका, so वहाँ से हमारे पास plastic आता है उनका. So we convert them into products and then they take it back. So they take it back as in a complete end-to-end for us. So unka waste, unke products, and then they purchase it. And for the whole process, they pay us for the production ke liye. And it's not on the retail pricing, but it's still better for us. At least we make good money with them. So the answer to that was that कि it depends आप कौन से vertical में बेच रहे हो. So if it is B2C, then design is utmost important. If it is B2B, then design is utmost important, but even the color coding is also important. For example, if I'm doing it on a B2B, I cannot send them the Blink collections. Because still in India, most of the majority of the corporates have 80% males working with them and 20% it's female population. So आप majority को जब cater करते हो तो आपको non blink देनी पड़ती है उनको. So I still have to keep that much in my mind कि मैं इनको कुछ चमकीला वाला product ना दूं, because if you see that आपके Lay's कुरकुरे या फिर जितने भी biscuit packets होते हैं, the inside of it is blink, is that silver foil. So the moment we weave it, so the product becomes little blingy.
Tiny product.
Shiny हो जाता है, which is still a huge no-no for the majority of the males.
Correct.
So these kind of things you have to work around, you have to accept those challenges. The only thing which we cannot work with, for example, we had got a huge order from one of the corporates, I will not name them, and they wanted us to match पूरा एक 5,000 products into their brand logos, brand colors, not the logo colors. For example, it was blue and white. So they wanted all 5,000 products in blue and white of colors में. So it was impossible for us क्योंकि मेरे को उतना plastic मिलता नहीं उस वाले color में. So then you understand some of the times you have to leave it also. So that's how it is happening with Ecokaari. We do understand that design is important, and you cannot sell your product on story alone. Story is important because every company needs to have a story. क्या क्यों कर रहे हो? So because that's how, at least within startups, you need to have a story that why you're doing it. So how would a regular person relate to you? For example, with the Ecokaari, what majority of the people are relating it to is कि पहला तो आपका guilt factor कम हो सकता है. That the plastic which you are using, you can donate it to Ecokaari, and that's the first guilt which we take, because आपने जितने भी हमारे viral videos देखे होंगे, the call to action was donate plastic first. It never was purchase products from us. Though it resulted in purchasing of the products and in heavy, but call to action never was that कि तुम मेरे से products खरीदो. And it never worked, believe me, because we have done those kind of videos also कि जहाँ पे call to action was purchasing the product, so it never went viral. The only viral videos which you see is the donation of the plastic, because it helps people to mitigate the little part of their guilt.
Correct.
And we get close to Abhibi. For example, we get 40% of the plastic from donation across India. We get donations from up north, from Ladakh से भी आता है. To be frank, Dras से आया अभी. मैं अभी check कर रहा था तो Dras का एक parcel था. We get it from Far East, South is far better because the awareness is little better in those states.
So do you think
And
over here, the point that you mentioned, that it's a very interesting psychologically, that when you ask your customers or potential customers to donate waste or donate plastic, do you think there is an added sense of association between the relationship of the brand and that particular person, which makes them come and buy from you? What would your views be on that?
so most of the times, लोगों को जरूरत नहीं है. This is not an essential product. You need to understand that. So the product which you are making is not into that essential product. It's more of the impulse product. तो आप किसी भी मतलब there will be a lot of these people who buy bag कहीं से भी. तो आपको बैग की मोस्टली जरूरत नहीं होती है. इम्पल्स, आपको डिजाइन अच्छा लगा, आपको स्टोरी अच्छी लगी, आपको फैब्रिक अच्छा लगा, इट्स एटलीस्ट हर किसी के पास एक दो बैग्स होंगे. दैट डजंट मीन कि वो दूसरा बैग नहीं खरीदेंगे. So it's more about the impulse buying at that time. So there's one more actually I was reading somewhere. So अगर आपने branding बहुत अच्छी की and you reached and you are not available there, you are actually creating market for the competition. क्योंकि to be frank, for example, you are building a community. आपने community build की और community में बहुत सारे services हो सकते हैं, but आपने community build की, आपने service नहीं दी, तो मैं किसी दूसरे के पास भी जा सकता हूँ क्योंकि अब मुझे पता है कि मेरे को ये सर्विस चाहिए. द फर्स्ट पॉइंट वो हियर वाज दैट as an individual I never knew that I had this need, so you might have to create that need also. So तो बहुत सारी कंपनीज है, फॉर एग्जांपल जितने भी लग्जरी आइटम्स हैं, so you don't have need of those products, so you create those needs, so it becomes aspirational product also. फॉर एग्जांपल आपका एक 2000 का फोन भी वही काम करता है जो आईफोन करता है, बट योर एस्पिरेशन इज ऑलवेज दैट कि मेरे को आईफोन चाहिए, and you pay a bomb for that. So technically is that they created that need, they created that social status with it. एक और है actually, there's off the point. Anyone, do you know brand को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? What's the actual name of, how do you translate brand in Hindi? Is there any
Literally, the
different word?
word brand translated into Hindi. Guys, anyone from the session? I don't know.
It's off the point. मतलब I never wanted to discuss this, but मेरे को अभी याद आया है.
Y'all can unmute and answer. That's okay.
It could be पहचान.
नहीं, एक और.
Isn't that identity? Yeah.
That's again an English word. I'm saying हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं?
पहचान है. Not
मैं
sure.
बोलूं आपको, मतलब cut to cut, it's not a good word, but it's your औकात. Brand is your औकात.
Okay.
Oh my God.
ठीक है? So the moment you become rich, you have to show it off कि मेरी ये औकात है अब. So then you will start buying LVs, you will start buying iPhone with the gold cases. ठीक है? You will buy luxurious cars with different जो आपके लिए बनाया गया हो. So that's technically, it's off the points here, not supposed to be discussed, but brand is your aukat technically. And it's a personal also. For example, a person getting rich, so they have to show it off. So even personal brands, there's a personal brand which is also being created everywhere. So उनकी भी technically औकात ही होती है वो फिर. It's not a good word because in Hindi the connotation is different, but that's how it is.
Right. Sir, this brings me, since time is of essence, sir, आपसे भी
Yes,
मुझे
yes.
limited time ही मिला है, तो I would just push the session ahead on bringing the focus on the international markets of Ecokaari's journey. Recognizing the right time, point number one, for exploring international markets, and from your business perspective and the eco-conscious customers landscape perspective, is India less aware, or for international markets more aware and receptive towards eco-conscious businesses? What has your experience been, and the timing bit, of course, I mentioned.
So about the awareness, or even about aware about the climate change, India is still 20 years behind what Europe is, or even the East Asian countries like Japan, Malaysia, Singapore. They're way ahead of us. Uh, then America, I think, will be at par with India in terms of the awareness. Now the data points is that Europe or even the West, they generate close to 85 or 87 kgs per person of plastic waste. 87 kgs per person per year. 87 kgs, no, per month, sorry. 87 kgs per person per year. I'm sorry. So is what Americans are doing, or even the West, in the Europe. So India is 7 to 8 kgs. So it hovers between 7 to. So we are still far better. But what is against us is the amount of the population we are setting on. So for example, America में आप 87 भी पकड़ लो, multiply by the amount, which may be, I think, 30 crore तक है उधर, something like that. So, and now 7 kgs into 140 billion. So that's the amount of the plastic which we generate annually. So, एक वो point है. Now coming back to the markets. So when we started, so everybody said that कि तुम थोड़ा सा जल्दी हो इस market में. Because I'm saying not with the Ecokaari, with the earlier organization जो हम 2015 में start किए थे, because this process we had started in 2015. So, but after COVID in India, the awareness part actually got little better. So पहले जो हम 8 cities की बात कर रहे थे, so it might have trickled down to even B towns, मतलब sub metros पे भी, like Pune is a sub metro, so we get good amount of sales from the Pune. We get sales from Nagpur, now Chandigarh, up मतलब वो वाले cities में which the awareness part wasn't there. So North India में there's a different problem, because it's not about the awareness, it's about the kind of the behavior which that area has. So it's more about they have to show it off in that North Indian area. So we don't get too much of sales from there. But Europe, we get good amount of sales and we get repeated sales from there. And we have got some good partners, mostly Indian ही है जो यहाँ से migrate होके गए हुए हैं, and they are in touch. And so we partner with them, where we have started. Now, this is one more point which we did after the mentor pushed me for, that was to do the production white labeling. White labeling is that कि मेरे को कोई brand approach कर रहा है, so I make products with their labels without mentioning that this was done by the Ecokaari. So it has helped us in reaching in the different audience zone पे and keeping हमारे finances in control technically, क्योंकि पैसा लगता है हर किसी चीज पे. And सिंगापुर मलेशिया से बहुत ऑर्डर्स आते हैं. जापान में वी हैव आफ्टर 2 साल के सैम्पलिंग एंड ऑल दैट, वी जस्ट क्लिक दैट ऑर्डर. सो इट वाज simply because Japan में they take too much of time to trust you. So it was, and sampling, then certifications, तुम्हारा certifications करके लो, ये सारे करके लो. Because in हमारे zone में, so they were saying that are you paying your employees a fair trade, wages बराबर जा रहे हैं and all that. So the moment you say that, there is somebody who has to certify it. And unfortunately बहुत सारे certifications अभी भी यूरोप के पास में ही है. मतलब कुछ भी करो, ultimately certify आपको यूरोप ही करना चाहिए. So that's what we had actually अभी G20 के लिए, so we were called by government of India. So this was the situation in which most of the startups had कि हमको यूरोप से सर्टिफिकेशन क्यों चाहिए, हम कुछ भी अच्छा करें, why should a person from the Europe come and certify कि हाँ तुम ये कर रहे हो. तो who gives that authority to the Europe कि तुमको ही करना बाबा, तुम ही एक डिसीजन मेकिंग हो कि तुम अच्छा कर रहे हो. So let's see, they are saying that, for example, for us, they said that the government of India might certify that we are doing this kind of process. So we were in the top 30 startups by the government of India who were selected for the waste management ke last year, Swachhata Challenge ke under pe. So they had approached us and said to apply kar lijiye. So we were awarded by the top 30 startups में उधर. तो द आंसर शॉर्ट में अगर देखा जाए तो ऑब्वियसली व्हाइट लेबलिंग फायदा हुआ है यूरोप के लिए. एंड वी आर इन टॉक्स विद सम मेजर प्लेयर्स फ्रॉम यूएस के लिए. It's very initial stage that they have approached us for the white labeling in the area. कनाडा में बात चल रही है, उनके साथ हुआ भी है 1-2 बार, बट अभी कुछ बड़े ऑर्डर्स की बात चल रही है. होपफुली इट विल गो थ्रू. एंड लास्ट 2 साल से एक्चुअली वी वेर गेटिंग inquiries from them, so we will making it. मतलब जो inquiries आ रही, so we will making. So we had never pushed it for the exports क्योंकि Indian market had actually given us that kind of business that we never thought to go out of India क्योंकि अपना local consumption ही बहुत heavy था at that time. But now since the team is increasing, so we have started one more unit in Karnataka where we are working with commercial sex workers over there. We are trying to move them from the current profession and to integrate with them in their regular life. तो वो टीम साइज थोड़ा बड़ा हो गया. तो अभी हमारे पास स्टॉक्स क्योंकि सप्लाई साइड इज गेटिंग स्ट्रॉन्गर, सो वी हैव टू नाउ सी ऑन द डिमांड साइड, सो वी हैव टू जनरेट मोर डिमांड. सो नाउ फ्रॉम दिस ईयर, इस साल का सीजन तो चला गया मोस्टली क्योंकि वी माइट स्टार्ट डूइंग ट्रेड शोज इन यूरोप. We will start attending. So that's the one way of how the exports are approached for in handicraft business हमारे zone में. And the government is now supporting for that, where they will be giving us some subsidies and all that for the travel and all that.
You know, sir, there are so many questions coming to me and the time is ticking. I want to ask you like 10 more questions and the session is just about to get over. But then there are questions like what is the kind of support Indian government has for sustainable businesses, and what are the schemes, what are the support system that entrepreneurs from the TSD or the larger community can look up to. Like you said that you were recognized by the government as a top 30 startups. I think there'll be a bunch of other things, right? Which the entrepreneur today, this thing does not reach to the entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs don't know the right points to go and check about, or keep up with these things. So this is one of the things. Second
मैं इसका
is
आंसर दूं
again,
पहले वरना मैं भूल जाऊंगा. अब दूसरा क्वेश्चन पार्क कर लो 2 मिनट के लिए. आई एम सॉरी. सो आई विल
yes, yes.
आंसर यू देयर. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ स्कीम्स. पहले तो जितने भी वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स देयर इज हेल अमाउंट ऑफ स्कीम्स फॉर देम. प्लीज गो अप्रोच देम एंड दे, टू बी फ्रैंक, यू डोंट नीड टू पे. मतलब बहुत सारा धारणा ये है कि दैट यू माइट हैव टू पे द ट्रांजैक्शनल चार्जेस, व्हाट वी कॉल ब्राइब को टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में, द
Yeah,
ट्रांजैक्शन चार्जेस.
understood.
You don't have to do that. For example, I never had that idea that government of India is giving you soft loans, and which is at the 4%. It's under seed fund. So any organization who is less than 2 years, you can approach government, but आपको थोड़ी सी certifications तैयार रखनी पड़ेंगी because you should be registered under Startup India. You should have your उद्योग आधार कार्ड. You should have एक DPIIT करके एक certification आता है, which itself you don't need to go for someone. आप उनकी वेबसाइट पे आपके डिटेल्स डाल दीजिए, they verified, and the certification will come in 3 days in your inbox. So it's pretty easy, believe me. You don't have to किसी के पीछे पड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. Once you have those details, you can apply to a lot of schemes. आप स्टार्टअप इंडिया में भी अभी भी चेक करोगे कि there will be, I think, 15 से 20 schemes for women entrepreneurs. Is that kind of money which is being pumped, and they want actually, क्योंकि जो 5 ट्रिलियन का टारगेट है which they want by 2030, and they have actually seen that the startups will play a major role in achieving it, in terms of creating new jobs, in terms of exporting also. So किसी का कुछ अगर पर्सनल सवाल होगा तो I can share my number, so they can definitely text me and then I will call them back.
Lovely. That is great. That is great. In fact, that's what I wanted to sort of get a heads up from you, that if it's cool, if it's fine with you,
Yeah.
there would be members in the community who would want to say get a quick mentoring session from you about these things. And of course, you have been having a mentor with you all this while, and you understand that what value it can give to an entrepreneur.
I
Before
think it's one of the most important part for any person is to have a sounding board. So for example, मुझे पता है कि क्या करना है, but you still need a person to talk about it कि सर ऐसा ऐसा होने वाला है, ऐसा कर सकता हूँ क्या, is there any changes, all that. He might not even change it, but you still get kind of confidence to be frank कि हाँ मैं जो सोच रहा हूँ इस बराबर इसी वाले जोन में जाना चाहिए. So I will suggest that कि you don't need an industry expert always. It can be anyone. It can be a friend also, who can actually help you with being in a sounding board. So just find it. You will find it that's good for your क्या बोलते हैं strategies के लिए भी अच्छा रहता है that you strategize.
right.
For example, I talk to my friends who are not from the business, and then they have a different point of view altogether. So it's not always that a business wala ही help कर सकता है. It's sometimes a random person who you know is at least थोड़ा सा thought process clear है, talk to them.
Right.
And
Sir,
one
let's
more point, sorry, I will just add one more point. I
no,
know
sir.
we are short
Yeah,
of
yeah,
time.
of course.
So the
Please go
one
ahead.
point
Please
here
go
is that मैं ही भूल गया अभी what I'm supposed to. So the point which I'm thinking is that कि बहुत सारे लोगों को ना in entrepreneurship से in India at least still entrepreneurship is not accepted well. So the first point is कि तुम business क्यों कर रहे हो? For example, for मेरे लिए भी it was that I was in a very safe zone जहाँ पर मेरे को अच्छा खासा pay था, so I was getting good amount of income there. So the first thing, since my family was coming from the business family and then seeing the complete down of it, matlab from good to completely into that migrant camps and all that stuff. So they were not sure whether इसको भी उसमें वाले zone में जाना चाहिए. But the worst part of it is that अगर आपको पता है कि आपका idea नहीं चल रहा, and it's only the entrepreneur who understands it, believe me, nobody else, कोई mentor, कोई incubation, कोई community कुछ help नहीं करेगी. You should have guts to accept it and move ahead. क्योंकि सबसे ज्यादा जो social stigma attached है कि ये fail हुआ है, and that's not talked about. For example, you see that Ecokaari बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है, but believe me, we have the struggles which everybody has. Only that कि वो level 2 पे पहुंच गई है. That's it. जो level 1 पे आपके साथ struggles है वो मेरे साथ में भी है. Only that कि multiplied by 2, so we are struggling the same way, but थोड़े अलग zone में. So, but then you should accept it that whatever you see in the social media is not always that सब कुछ fancy नहीं है एक startup में या फिर एक किसी भी business journey में. Sorry, you were not asking. मैंने बीच में काटा आपको.
Yeah. In fact, sir, let us, members are waiting for the session to be thrown open to Q&As.
Yes.
So I think a few questions. One of the interesting questions. Whatever we spoke about, the sustainability bit. Again, things are around. We spoke about design and all those things, product-centric stuff. Can all of these things, the eco-conscious things or the sustainability angle, can this be imagined from a service sector perspective? What is your view on that?
Service में yes. For example, we have started now quantifying the impact what we are creating. For example, अभी तक मैं बोल रहा था कि मैं प्लास्टिक अपसाइकल कर रहा हूँ, मैं लाइवलीहुड क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ. Now, but then people started asking us कि कितना प्लास्टिक अपसाइकल किया है, कितना कार्बन तुमने मिटिगेट किया हुआ है. So you should have answers for that. And it's not for the production also, matlab for the manufacturing, and the same is happening with the service. And if you have seen the trends, the next decade will be for the eco-friendly products. If you see the change, since I am into the bag zone pe, the big players like India में Baggett, उनका recycled collection चालू हुआ था last year. They started a recycled collection. I know VIP are in touch with us for creation of something. I will not give you that abhi ke liye, but even those big guys are thinking about this. आप international brand check कर लीजिए. So they have started at least saying that कि ये products green है. So that's where the whole thing is shifting. So आपका जो pie है, मतलब the moment we say that Sam-Tam जो भी technical terms हैं, so that's going to go bigger for eco-friendly products. So if you are into that zone, I will still say stick to it. अगर अभी थोड़ा सा difficulty है, the market is opening and it will be better.
But by and large, it is a good time to be.
A good time to be. So it's the right time for these kind of products. So अभी के case में आप थोड़ा सा market build करोगे. The moment there's a tipping point, what we called in the marketing or in the business sense पे, the tipping point जब आएगा उस वाले zone पे, so all of the whole ecosystem will be benefited with it.
One of the best things that I have picked up and I would like to re-emphasize for the larger community is, a couple of times we said paise banane hain, right? And there have been strategies that we saw. You explored white labeling with the international markets. You explored buying waste from the industries and selling it back to them. Mind-blowing thought, right? So it is crucial that for you to have a story, have a product, and have a base of customers, you need to be an enabling strategy behind, and that's how critical sales is. even for a business that is into sustainability. At large, keeping aside the concept, for a business to be sustainable, the sales have to come, and ultimately, before reaching to the point of being a sustainable business, it is a business first, and it is
Yes,
okay to look at it like that, because sales नहीं आएंगे, पैसे नहीं बनेंगे, तो आप impact create नहीं कर पाओगे. And I think this is
exactly.
something, this is by far the best
You
perspective
said
I
it in
have
the right
gathered.
words. Believe me, you said it in the actually right words, because what was happening across the zone pe, as Indians, we need to get out of that mindset ki if a person is helping helping the helping the society, technically the social entrepreneurs, वो हमेशा झोला में दिखना चाहिए. So get out of that mentality, because a person who is helping the society can also get rich. It's okay, and making profits is not a crime. तो अंबानी को गाली देना बंद करो, he is your hero. So it's as baseline as it is. So we as Indians do मतलब idealize Musk and Bill वाले जितने भी थे, Gates and all those guys. अगर तुम उनकी पर्सनल पे लाइफ जाओगे, they will be more crude than the Ambanis are. But as a community, we always think that कि Indians में ऐसा कर रहा है, तो start celebrating them. Believe me, they are far better, and they are creating huge amount of wealth, and it's actually getting distributed in India also. So in baseline of entrepreneurship mein, what I have learned in a hard way is that you will only grow if you have that ability of distribution of the wealth. For example, अगर Ecokaari कल को 1 करोड़ कमाता है, I should have that much of willingness that कि उसमें से 70% is distributed among the team. That's how the team will be with you. Otherwise, तुम build नहीं कर पाओगे. So आप किसी भी बड़े बिजनेस को देख लीजिए, द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, वेल्थ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज मतलब ऑफ हाई इम्पोर्टेंस. एंड कमिंग टू दैट, when we started Ecokaari, so there were two things which we actually had discussing कि क्या हम इसको एनजीओ रजिस्टर करें या प्राइवेट लिमिटेड रजिस्टर करें. So we were very much clear that कि मेरे को उसको प्राइवेट लिमिटेड रजिस्टर करना है, because I never wanted to raise funds by asking for this कि मेरे को पैसा दो तभी मैं इसका ऑपरेशंस फंड का चलाऊंगा. सो वी रेज फंड्स टू सेल्स. वी डोंट गो आफ्टर समबडी कि मेरे को मेरी टीम के ऑपरेशंस के लिए तुम पैसा दो. तो वी क्रिएट वेल्थ बाय सेल्स. सो उसके लिए क्या होता है कि मुझे ये पता है कि मैं उतना ही बढ़ूंगा, दैट आई थिंक द टाइम इज लिमिटेड, तो मैं इससे थोड़ा सा जल्दी कम करता हूँ उसको. व्हाट वी डू इज दैट वी फोकस कि हमको इस साल 5 करोड़ करना है. तो 5 करोड़ के लिए मेरे को इतना सारा प्रोडक्शन लगेगा. सो वी विल हैव टू प्रोड्यूस दीज मेनी प्रोडक्ट्स विद एएसपी. आपको पता रहेगा, आपके हर किसी को अपना एएसपी पता रहता है, दिस इज व्हाट माय एएसपी इज. तो उस एएसपी को डिवाइड करके उसमें मेरे को इतने प्रोडक्ट्स बनाने हैं. तो अगर इतने प्रोडक्ट्स बनाने हैं मुझे, तो इसमें मेरे को इतना मैन पावर लगेगा. इतना मैन पावर लगेगा तो मुझे इतने लोगों को ट्रेन करना. माई टीम शुड बी दैट बिग. So that's what we do every year. So my AOP every year is done in the March, so that April को हम roll out करें उसके लिए. And then we start training और supply side उतना strong करते ताकि मैं demand को meet कर पाऊँ. For example, last year we were off it क्योंकि we never thought that कि इतना demand आएगा. So supply and demand went crazy. So we were not able to meet those peaks. For example, दिवाली का peak आया, Christmas का peak आया, मेरे पास उतना stock नहीं था. So that's how a person should actually do it. That's what I think.
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir. One question from the member, that it is really important to do that kind of market research and build based on data points. But as a startup, it is difficult to understand where to look for data on consumer behavior. Is there any way or sources that you could suggest that would help members, especially being in the sustainability space?
यार कंज्यूमर्स के लिए, टू बी फ्रैंक, यू हैव टू बिल्ड इट. जो डेटा मिल भी रहा है, दैट्स ओवर एक्सप्लॉइटेड, जो रेगुलर मार्केट्स में आपको मिलते हैं. सो इट्स ओवर एक्सप्लॉइटेड, इट डजंट हेल्प यू. फॉर अस, हमारा जो डेटा कलेक्शन हुआ है इज मोर थ्रू द ट्रेड शोज, वेयर वी आस्क द पीपल टू गिव अस द नंबर्स. सो बट गुड अमाउंट, टू बी फ्रैंक, मेरे पास 10 से 15,000 लोगों का डेटा है जो मेरे को ट्रेड शोज में मिले हैं, एंड ऑलमोस्ट आधे से ज्यादा मेरे को नाम से जानते हैं. सो दे हैव माय नंबर्स एंड ऑल दैट. एंड देन योर सोशल मीडिया. एंड अगर आपको B2B में करना है तो माय सिंसियर सजेशन विल बी कि लिंक्डइन को एक्सप्लोर करो. इट इज वन ऑफ दैट platforms which allows your content to go viral. For example, अगर मैंने आपके पोस्ट पे लाइक किया तो आपका पोस्ट मेरे वाले फॉलोअर्स को भी दिखता है. It doesn't happen with Instagram and all other social media पे, but LinkedIn still it does happen कि for example मैंने अमृत का एक पोस्ट था, मैंने उसको लाइक किया तो मेरे पास अगर 5,000 फॉलोअर्स है तो मेरे 5,000 लोगों को फ्लैश होता है कि दैट दिस वीडियो इज देयर और दिस कंटेंट इज देयर. So explore that. LinkedIn का sales navigator is a paid tool. Try using it if you are into that zone where the B2B is to be done. And बाकी का डेटा चेक भी कर लो अगर आपको खरीदना भी है तो. That's how it works. For us, we haven't bought. So if you're asking me, तो हमने अब तक डेटा कभी खरीदा नहीं है because मुझे अभी तक नहीं लगता है कि जो हमारा जोन है दैट इको फ्रेंडली एंड ऑल दैट, सो उसके लिए वो एग्जैक्ट डेटा कहीं पर अवेलेबल है. सो you don't get that. For example, we do a lot of pitch for in terms of मतलब incubations पे है या फिर grants के लिए. We still haven't raised money in equity form पे, though we get a lot of offers for that, but we still have थोड़ा होल्ड करके रखा हुआ है, उतनी लालच नहीं बढ़ाई अभी तक. तो उसके में तो when the moment you start pitching, तो आपको वो डेटा पूछते कि तेरा मार्केट साइज कितना है. So that's the most important slide in any pitch. So what's your market size, what you're trying to, तेरा कितना मार्केट शेयर होगा, कैसे अप्रोच करोगे, all that stuff. तो मैंने लिटरली अब तक अगर 20 पिच में दिया है ना, आई हैव ओपनली सेड दैट कि मेरा मार्केट मेरे को नहीं पता. एंड आई ओपनली सेड दैट कि what's the total size of the market. So I know the total size of bags and accessories because that's where we are placing our product. But somebody asking me कि नहीं वो तो पूरा यूनिवर्स का साइज हो गया, what's the exact size of your that eco-friendly या फिर handcrafted bags में. I said there is no data. मतलब अब तक किसी ने या तो डेटा पाई उतना बड़ा नहीं है कि that somebody had researched for it. And if it is not there, so I will not blabber about it. So it's far better to accept it कि नहीं पता मेरे को. But ये मार्केट साइज है बैग्स एक्सेसरीज का, मैं इसका 0.1 भी अचीव नहीं कर पाऊंगा because I'm not in that zone. For example, I will give you that it's close to 1500 बिलियन का डॉलर का $1500 बिलियन का मार्केट है बैग्स एंड एक्सेसरीज, where the average ticket size is $65. So it's हमारी औकात के बहुत ऊपर technically in India, because in India the average ticket size is 1000 से 1500 for bags. For example, if I mark Zook, if you know the Zook company, most of you might have those bags.
Yes.
So they have slashed their prices from last year after taking the funding, because now the pressure is for the sales. So वो 1000-1500 के रेंज में आ चुके हैं, where they used to be 2 से 2500 के रेंज में. So different ball game altogether. I'm sorry, I'm gonna लंबे आंसर दे रहा हूँ, but
No,
I
no,
think
sir. Even a small sort of a detour in your answer is giving us some kind of nuggets and nuggets of wisdom, and they are more than welcome. In fact, I'm glad that you're doing that. You're sharing more than what I'm asking you, and it is something which is a delight for all of us, right? Sir, a couple of trade show names, if you could mention. Someone is asking. Razia is asking in the
so
chat
if you're
box.
in the handicraft में, so I can name those. हम दस्तकार का एक दिल्ली बेस्ड ग्रुप है, so we are part of them. So we are part of Dastakaari. So there's a Bangalore based group as 100 Hands AHH. So you're part of them. So Bangalore वालों को सबको पता होगा that is in a good famous group. And we do Bombay में Lil Flea, बैंडर में आता है. We used to be the part of the Kala Goda, but this year उसने नहीं लिया है. But they don't repeat the brands, so you can उनका सितंबर या अक्टूबर एंड में फॉर्म्स आते हैं. It's completely online, so you have to submit your applications and they will call you for the interviews to the Mumbai. So you have to go there. But believe me, अगर वो मिलता है तो you take it without any second thoughts. They charge you something 1.5 lakh रुपया for 10 days, for 5 days if I'm not wrong. But you do 3 से 4 lakh रुपया per day over there. So that's the kind of the market which they generate.
There's a good foreign, international footfall, like
बहुत
foreigners
ज्यादा.
बहुत ज्यादा आते हैं.
To be frank, मेरे को कालागुड़ा से जो contacts मिले हैं, they are still helping us out international markets के लिए. There's one more good market which is only शायद दिवाली और अभी के लिए आएगा, डिजाइन वन करके आता है, बॉम्बे में ही है. So they do markets in Delhi, Bombay, and I think Kolkata में भी करते हैं वो. So they have 3 markets. मतलब साल में 3 ही बार करते हैं market, but it's Bombay का cream because the entry is 1,000 rupees. So they don't allow anybody to get inside. क्योंकि आप 1,000 रुपये अगर पे करके अंदर जा रहे हो मार्केट में, so is that cream. But then they charge you a bomb also. It's a 3-day event, but then you cover that. So that's how it works. और कौन से markets हैं? These are the major ones which I remember, to be frank. And then internationally, अगर आप हैंडक्राफ्ट में है तो मेसी करके एक आता है, मेसी फ्रैंकफर्ट. लंदन का एक शो आता है, मैं नाम भूल गया. So because we are targeting them now for the next year. And और कुछ रहेगा तो I might give it on the group. So since I am part of it now, so I can message there. जो मुझे याद आ रहा है.
This is a huge support, sir, that you say that I'm approachable, I'm available if you want to bounce
Yeah.
off thoughts, ask me questions, chat with
I'm
me in the
approachable.
group.
Now, give me one point कि मैं actually एक introvert हूँ who doesn't like to speak to the group. That's why मैं पिछले साल भर से avoid कर रहा था. Nothing else. but कभी ना कभी उसको आपको given करना पड़ता है. Being an introvert, if you are not facing that brand build कर रहे हो, you need to tell about your brand. That's what I feel. So I do these kind of public talks only and only अगर मेरे को लगता है कि अब मेरे पास कोई रास्ता नहीं बचा भागने का. That's how it works. Otherwise, I escape. But you can still talk to me. 1-to-1 is always better. Because then I might be able to give you better insights. If you remember, जब हम 1-to-1 बात कर रहे थे तो शायद मेरे insights better रहेंगे.
Right. Sir, दो चीजें mention करना चाहूँगा in front of everyone. One is we are coming up with our own mentor board, TSD mentor board, wherein the community members can approach mentors like you, and in an organized format where you just do the talking and interaction, and rest all the other administrative things are taken care of. And second bit, again driven from the challenges and conversations like today over the past 1 year, a way for entrepreneurs to gather insights, primary data, responses. We are very soon, we'll also be rolling out business surveys and a way for entrepreneurs to gather first-hand information from the community about what they are thinking about, which basically can help the entrepreneurs get early feedback or maybe early data points about their initiatives in their business. And again, since I'm mentioning this because we had a conversation about how do we collect data, maybe that you may not get exact audience that you're looking at, but then some way to gather thoughts and uh, some points of data is something that may help entrepreneurs, and they can help you connect to the right people.
Can
So
I add one point to it to be, if time has 2 minutes or so, for
Yeah.
example, we have seen it through our own journey कि बहुत सारे customers actually हमको approach भी करते हैं, but most of the data is lost because we don't document it. Most of मतलब, and I think most of you might resonate with it कि हमको बहुत सारे phone calls आते हैं, हमको बहुत सारा Instagram पे messages आते हैं. Do we document it? No. So there are some free tools market में available है, so which helps in documentation. I think PRM करके आप टाइप करोगे तो बहुत सारे. So we used to do I forgot, but हमारे पास भी actually data अभी Excel में आता है. So we have started using Google Sheets. So but again there are some of the free tools which anybody can use. So it might help you in at least data को add कर लीजिए उसमें. That's how it will be.
But yeah, but this is one of the most crucial points that, again, I'm re-emphasizing that please gather data when you are in the early stages of your business and build basis that it will help you in numerous ways. And again, there's a data to back it up.
Yes.
So all right. Thank you so much, guys. I hope I have covered the questions that you submitted in the chat box. We are just about 10 minutes overshooting with sir, because obviously there's so much to ask and there's so much to know, but a good assurance from him that he's available, and you can sort of talk to him, be it about trade shows, be it about sales funnels for your sustainable businesses, be it about the government schemes and how you can look at all those things. Plenty of thoughts I'm sure you must be having right now, but then reach out to him, reach out to us if you want to get any help. And on behalf of the entire community, Nandan sir, I would like to thank you for doing this for all of us. somewhere we all of us wish to keep getting some such kind of insights and inspiration, so that at the comfort of our home or maybe our office, while we are hustling, we also parallelly keep growing as entrepreneurs and keep moving forward. So I think such sessions not only helps the community but helps me also personally. So thank you so much, and looking forward to more sessions with you on some other more topics जिसके ऊपर we can actually do a dedicated session, maybe on government schemes, maybe on dedicated areas. Open to suggestions from the community members. Sir, any closing statements before we wrap up?
मेरे को गवर्नमेंट स्कीम एक्चुअली यू माइट हैव टू चेक इट आउट, मेरे को भी सारी नहीं पता, सो आई ओनली नो व्हिच इट्स रिलेटेड टू आवर काइंड ऑफ बिजनेस, बट आईटी के लिए अलग है, आई थिंक टेक्सटाइल्स के लिए अलग है, हैंडलूम्स के लिए बहुत सारे स्कीम्स है, हैंडक्राफ्ट के लिए बहुत स्कीम्स है. सो इफ यू आर इनटू एक्सपोर्टिंग देयर इज एक EPCH करके है, सो एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशनल हब फॉर हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स करके है, समथिंग काउंसिल फॉर हैंडीक्राफ्ट, सो यू शुड रजिस्टर इट. So what happens that जितने भी international shows होंगे, they give you subsidy of 50%. So उनका they have the different उनके booths लगे होते हैं. So Indian booths are there in every big event. So उसका 50% is taken care by the government. So you should, and they are not costly, believe me. कुछ साल का 7 से 8 हज़ार या फिर 5,000 रुपए लेते हैं वो लोग for the membership. So just apply to them. Try it out, I think. So बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. So exports के लिए बहुत सारा push है अभी government का. Just explore them. That's what and my number, if you want to write it, or you can. Am I allowed to say my number? Is that okay with you guys?
So that's completely your choice.
नहीं, but then मेरे को
You would love
spam
to
मत
have.
करना. So spam
Sir,
मत करना. That's
नहीं
okay.
नहीं सर, सारे entrepreneurs हैं, सारे एकदम
मेरे पास
genuine,
एक ही
meaningful.
नंबर है इसलिए. So I don't have any other number. So that's my number.
Sir, we all are as authentic as you. So
नहीं
be
नहीं,
rest
it's
assured.
that most of the companies में क्या होता है कि then they start sending their promotional message. Please, मेरे को खरीदना होगा तो मैं खरीद लूंगा, but don't send me those kind of messages.
But you are really
I don't do it myself, so that's how it works.
Sir, you're really kind for doing that. Not everyone does that. Thank you so much. And a quick feedback for all the members in today's session. It helps us put together these reviews and encourage more people to join such wonderful sessions. Yes, so basic से दो सवाल पूछिए, please answer कर दीजिए. And until next time, to more such sessions with Mr. Nandan, but from Ecokaari, humanizing fashion. Do check out his website. Do check out the kind of good work they are doing, and looking forward to posting a photo with his products on maybe LinkedIn or in our community. Right. Until then, thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend. And once again, Nandan sir, thank you so much. And Suranjika, thank you for putting this together.
Thank you so much, Nandan sir, for doing
Thank you.
this. And thanks to all members who believed in us and joined us. I'm getting personal DMs, mein. It was such an insightful session, and you can see in the chat box also, sir, that every word of your added value to them. And I'm glad we did this with each one of you. Thank you
Also,
so
there are a few new names. अगर आप चाहते हैं, if you want to be a part of our community, Tapstart Digital is short for TSD. TSD community, it's a growth community for entrepreneurs. If you all want to join us, do check out our website, the portal tsd.community. All right, guys, thank you so much. Until next time, have a fantastic weekend. And so